Yeah, so, yep, I had that from 2004 to 2018.
Okay.
And then just
Well, the sound is like.
I hear you. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're very unclear.
Oh, no, is that better?
Bit better. Someone said something there I couldn't hear though.
That was our next one about. And it was Justin talking about you.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I decided to do this from home because I've got a nasty cold and I don't feel like passing it along.
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Anton.
All right. Excuse me. It's 7 o'clock or 7:01, I guess now. So we'll go ahead and call this special meeting of the Plan Commission to order. And 1 second. I should have the wording for the announcement. You're right to provide a written notice, and the agenda of the public meeting is stated below. An opportunity for public comments is available as noted on the agenda upon recognition by the presiding officer. I don't think we actually have that since this is a special meeting, but that's all right. So we're going to start with public hearing. This is a public hearing on the application to acquire a waiver to move the driveway entrance for the property at 295 122nd Avenue in Hudson, Wisconsin. So before we move on to the discussion, is there anyone who would like to speak to this as part of the public hearing?
This is Dan Martin. I just want to make sure everybody knows I'm on.
Yep, I saw you there. So thank you. I will ask again, is there anybody who would like to provide comments on this public hearing? And I will ask a third time if there's anyone who would like to provide comments for the public hearing. And since clocks are a little bit off, I will give people another minute or so before closing the public hearing in case somebody wants to call in and just hasn't quite made it, or wants to get into the room and hasn't quite made it. 30 seconds or so. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. And we will now move on to the second item on our agenda, which is discussion and possible action on the waiver request. Mr. Martin, would you like to briefly describe, everyone's got a copy of your request, but you want to briefly describe it?
It's good everybody's got a paper copy. We're actually up in Duluth, Steph, I, and 4 kids. So I'm glad I was able to get on virtually. Long story short, I don't know if anybody's been able to stop by. Dave did call and say he was going to stop by today, so you're gonna look at my driveway, but it's kind of a nasty driveway in the wintertime. Obviously, it's It's going downhill. There's an 8-foot drop off, and there's a 90-degree switchback. Even though I'm very diligent on snow plowing the driveway and salting it in the winter, and it does get sun, which is great. Last year, I was even going to slide off the driveway and go off the 8-foot ledge. And then I was told that the previous owner, or if not the previous owner that I bought the house from, one prior to that, one of their kids, their car slid off of that and they had to call a tow truck. So simple request. All I'm asking is if I can move that entrance about 60 feet closer to County Road V to the 150-foot mark, which to my knowledge, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is within St. Croix County tolerance outside of the township's codes. And that would give us a pretty much straight shot from 122nd down to the garage.
All right. Makes sense. Terry, did we get any input from Jay on this one?
No, I didn't hear anything from Jay.
Okay. Just thinking he probably knows off the top of his head the St. Croix County numbers.
Hey, Anton, this is Rick. I looked at the numbers today, and St. Croix County's got a good worksheet on their website. And if I followed along with it, that road would be maybe, in my interpretation of it, the road would be considered an access road, which then would be 150-foot setback from County Road V. But if it is not, it would be a minimum of 200-foot setback. And so I would encourage Dan to, if this is approved, to work with the county on that to ensure that you're complying with county. We don't want you to get in any hot water with the county because the township said yay or nay.
Okay. What's the difference between like you said, if it's an access,
Oh, there was access and sub collector. There's all sorts of road function classifications. I was not super clear on what the difference is. I mean, obviously an arterial is like a highway, but when you get into like the sub collector access, it seemed like an access was more of like a cul-de-sac situation or a dead end road, similar to what 122nd is. And correct me if I'm wrong if that's a dead end. I went by a couple times today, just dropping my kids off, and took a look at the property itself. But I believe it's a dead end, and that's why I kind of figured it would be a access road and less of, I mean, the collector doesn't, it would have to connect to something else. So.
That makes sense. Okay.
I guess
I'll
the
confirm with the
question would
county.
be, you'll want to work with the county, looking at the diagram, that if County V is considered a sub-collector and 122nd an access road, then you might need to be at 200 feet per the county, and you might need to get a waiver from them. So definitely something to find out. And the people of the county are really easy to work with usually. So, okay. So in terms of the town level, excuse me, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Martin?
This is John Remote. I don't have questions, something to comment. I did go take a look at the driveway and the property, and from my perspective, this is much a safety issue for the town as well. I can't imagine an emergency vehicle trying to traverse that driveway. That I would definitely consider that as well as, if a emergency vehicle need to get down there on the existing road, the winter, that would be rather nice.
That is a very good point, actually. I didn't think about, because like the propane truck, when he comes in the winter, half the time they don't even come down the hill. they just stretched the propane hose all the way from the top of the hill just because of the switchback and because of, snow or ice, what have you, during the wintertime. So when we're talking like ambulance or a fire truck or whatever, a fire truck's not going to make it down there at all. An ambulance would, but again, that 90-degree turn makes it a safety issue.
A good point, John. All right, do we have any other questions for Dan?
I think, this is Eric Lorenz. I think you would want to make it more of a 90 where it meets the road though, from your proposed drawing, just so you look back towards the west as you exit the driveway easier. See if anybody's coming from that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I know, I mean, on each driveway, it's gonna, the entrance to whatever street's gonna curve east and west or whatever, left or right. So it would, yeah, I'd be accommodating that.
Yep. Any further discussion? Okay, does anyone want to make a motion?
I just want to double check it says application for variance, this is the way.
Sorry, what?
This is, the application says application for variance, this is the way to go, correct?
This is, sorry, I can't really make out what you're saying.
We're asking, they're asking for a waiver, correct, not a variance?
They're- Correct, they're asking for a waiver.
Okay. I'll go ahead and, try and make a motion here. I would make a motion to recommend to the board to approve the waiver request for the driveway to entrance to 122nd Street to 295 122nd Avenue. A waiver of the 200 and from the 200-foot requirement to a 150-foot requirement. And that's it. I did the right, did I get that right?
Yeah, did you have the address in there? I couldn't hear all of it.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Okay, great.
Carol Lankar, second.
Any further discussion?
Do we want to add anything about the county in there? In that motion? Do we need that in the motion? Because it's not, we're not really saying ours is contingent on that, that's just an entirely separate thing, right?
Right,
No, you wouldn't need it in your motion because the county's gonna make their own decision.
Yeah, that's really kind of key advice for Dan.
right. And there's a motion and a second. Is there further discussion? All right, all those in favor of recommending to the board the approval of the waiver, say aye.
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 Aye. Not sure if I can hear in the room there.
Everyone here said aye.
Okay, great. Opposed? Not hearing anyone. All right. The motion carries and we will see you at the board meeting.
So board meeting is also today, am I right? Is
Terry,
this a combination meeting? That's what I read in the agenda.
these are always listed as combination meetings because enough town board members could attend the plan commission meeting to form a quorum.
Okay,
So we always notice them as town board meetings as well. But I think this is scheduled for the regular town board meeting. Is that right, Terry?
Yes, it'll be on January 11th.
January 11th. Okay, so I'll put that in my calendar. Is that at 7 o'clock as well?
That starts at 6, and I think you're gonna be close to.
6 o'clock on January the 11th.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yep, you're welcome. And I would recommend I don't know if you have the ability to do it while you're up in Duluth, but if you have the chance to start talking to St. Croix County, that would be great too.
Okay, do you guys know anybody I should call? Or talk to, any names?
It would be the highway department usually.
Okay, thank you, Rick. And everybody who's volunteering on this call, as a taxpayer, I appreciate folks that are volunteering to keep government going. So I just want to make sure I put that out there.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Yep, take care.
Thank you. Good luck.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion, so moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, we stand adjourned. Thanks very much to all of you, especially those of you that made the trip in.
Hope you feel better, Anton.
Thanks.
Yeah, feel
Well,
better.
my goal is to feel better by the time my vacation is over.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thanks. Good
Good
night.
night. Thank you.
The students going home.